guys, my name is Attorney Walter, if not the third. I'm with Disability Resolution PA. I wanted to go through and introduce you guys to specifically who Kilolo Kijakazi is. That's a new Commissioner of the Social Security Administration, currently in acting status, assumed office July 9th, 2021, when Joe Biden basically terminated the employment of Andrew Saul, who was the prior Social Security Commissioner, who was there under the Trump administration. We did a lot of details and analysis essentially on why Andrew Saul, ex-Commissioner Saul, was potentially going to be filing suit. I hope you watch those videos because it includes information about the types of law that exists, the Supreme Court precedent on it, etc., yada yada. Go watch them if you want to. Otherwise, let's just do what we do, make a video. All right, Kilolo Kijakazi. This is a Wikipedia article. I'm just going to be reading you details about it to give you kind of a quick walkthrough. Kilolo Kijakazi is the acting commissioner of the United States Social Security Administration. She was previously appointed Deputy Commissioner for Retirement and Disability Policy in January of 2021 before taking on the top position following Andrew Saul's dismissal of July 9th, 2021. So she's been a part of this program, in some manner and form for a while. So this is not somebody that's totally just, I don't know how this is all going to work, You would argue that with ex-Commissioner Saul, although he has a lot of business experience. He was not traditionally part of this type of nonprofit governance industry, right? Because Social Security is a purely payout company, right? That's an agency that's a payout company. It's not a make money company. Biography. Kilolo Kijakazi has a PhD in public policy from George Washington University, fancy. Master of Social Work from Howard University, fancy. And a BA from Binghamton University, fancy. Kijakazi served as an Institute Fellow at the Urban Institute, where she worked with staff across the organization to develop collaborative partnerships with those most affected by economic and social issues to expand and strengthen Urban's agenda of rigorous research, to effectively communicate findings to diverse audiences, and to recruit and retain a diverse research staff at all levels, while conducting research on economic security, structural racism, and the racial wealth gap. Okay, so it's literally copy and paste from what President Biden's always talking about. So this person is linear with his, I don't want to say agenda because it feels icky, but it's linear with what his desires are, essentially through this process. Sorry, microphone. According to her Urban biography, she was previously a program officer at the Ford Foundation, focusing on building economic security and incorporating the expertise of people of color into all aspects of the work. A senior policy analyst at the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, a program analyst at the Food and Nutrition Service of the United States Department of Agriculture, and a policy analyst at the National Urban League. Prior to entering the Biden administration, she was also a board member of the Winthrop Rockefeller Foundation, the National Academy of Social Insurance, which is what we basically just did an article on right here. You'll see that video coming out whenever it does. And its study panel on economic security and policy academies and the liberation in a generation, as well as a member of the DC Equitable Recovery Advisory Group, advisor to closing the women's wealth gap, co-chaired of the National Advisory Council on eliminating the black-white wealth gap at the Center for American Progress, and member of the Commission on Retirement Security and Personal Savings at the Bipartisan Policy Center. So basically, she's on a lot of commissions, a lot of boards, a lot of stuff that essentially is quite linear with the intentions of President Biden. Kijakazi is the author of African American Economic Development and Small Business Ownership. Okay, so that's it. That's all I've got. That's it. That's all I got. Here is a picture of her. It is basically a flipbook picture. Nope, there is more. Here we go. Kilolo Kijakazi. Since coming to Urban, I have been impressed with the organization's commitment to ensure that our... Oh, no, it's cut off there. That's a quote, and the rest of it's cut off. All right. So it just goes into more detail as to the organizations that she's been part of. I'll do another one on her, but that's a good little introduction video as to who this person is. What do I expect from the change of this individual coming into essentially the Social Security Administration? I have no idea. She could have a more liberal approach to individuals being found disabled. She could have a more liberal approach to essentially how many CDRs are done, whether it's going to be done every year, 2 years, 3 years, etc. CDRs are the continuing disability reviews that basically mean how often somebody is reviewed with an 8-step sequential process to see whether or not they are still disabled, ergo whether or not they're going to get kicked off of the system. I don't know what kind of a leader she's going to be. I don't know anything about her, but I'm going to keep reading things, giving you guys articles, and then basically expressing what those things tend to mean. I do need to go back and look at some of our earlier work at some point, and kind of figure out exactly what the basic principles of our work product were, and then figure out kind of like, well, okay, from this, what is that going to equate to? We do that with judges often. Like, when we're about to put a judge in, we're like, well, where do you stand on this topic? Because you ruled this way before. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to look at what she's done, figure out where she's going, and then basically give you an expectation on what the likely path of essentially this individual will have inside the Social Security Administration. We'll see. Hopefully good things. Hopefully people get to keep their benefits longer. Hopefully they get to keep more of the money that's taken away from them. Hopefully we can get rid of this in-kind support maintenance rule. Hopefully we can get rid of this whole 24-month waiting rule for Medicare, this whole 5-month waiting rule for our removal tool for SSDI benefits for essentially back pay. Hopefully we can get rid of a lot of these really ridiculous rules that are just absolutely incredibly stupid, like the $1,500 life insurance policy with SSI or the car rule. Hopefully we just get rid of a lot of these rules, or at least reshape them. You know what I mean? Like the $2,000 asset limitation for SSI. Like, come on. Guys. It hasn't been updated in, like, for me, it's a forever period, based on my age. That's a forever. We can calculate that in either light force or forevers. In light force, at the speed of light, it would be about 3 speed of lights or 1 forever. And that's about how long it's been updated from that $2,000. It should be, as that one bill has, essentially $10,000. Or it could be even more. What is $10,000 going to buy you nowadays? There was a time, I just want to point out, when buying a law firm office was like 15 grand. It was like 15 grand to buy a law firm office. Then it became like 50 grand. Then it became like, whoa, 120 grand. Now to buy a law firm office, it's at least $500,000. Pretty extreme. And guess what's going to happen to all those law firm offices? Nobody's going to be using them in the future going forward. With this whole pandemic thing, there's no reason why anybody will be going essentially to go sit in a law firm and talk to an attorney. There's no reason. You can talk to them through your phone. You can scan things. You can fax things. You can use I have homeless people who have a phone that are scanning documents to me through PhotoScan on their phone, creating PDFs. I'm just like, whoa, the world is changing. So just, keep in mind the world is changing. But I am really excited to learn more about this person and kind of see what the future of the Social Security Administration was, or where it's going to be. I know where it was. It's extremely hard to get people found disabled now compared to the way it used to be. A lot of the rules have changed. The listings are more severe. It's not claimant preferential. Now it's basically government preferential for denials. There used to be wiggle room. The older judges used to rule in the older way, but now a lot of the older judges have retired. And I thought about, and I would maybe one day like to be an administrative law judge, but I have to begin the process of going through all of that. But I would say this, I don't know what the future of that program is even going to be. That's had a lot of shifts in it. Who's in control of the hiring, what happens with the tests involved. Even that whole thing is like shifting and changing and everything. So I don't know, but we'll see what happens. So anyways, my name is Attorney Walter Knott with Disability Resolution PA. Have an absolutely wonderful day. I'll catch you a little bit later. And remember, if you want to catch up with me, I go live from 8 to 10 every Thursday on YouTube, Eastern Standard Time, every Thursday. If you want to catch up with me then, catch up with me then. And I may be in the future changing that, though, to basically doing like an hour on one, maybe like Facebook, and then an hour on YouTube. And the reason why is I get like an hour into these things, and then I want to take a nap. And that's because I work all day, and then I get hit at 8. I get hit at 8 o'clock with having to do more, and that's fast paced. That's like, person calls. That's rough. But either way, guys, I'll catch you a little bit later, and we'll go from there. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.